Hi there, and welcome to Stitching It with Jill. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to sew the lining into a dog coat. So I start by lining up the lining to the body that I've already added the piping to. I start on the bottom corner and I really loosely just go around and clip it in place. Now, fleece tends to be a lot stretchier than the outside fabric on a dog coat, particularly if you're using a waterproof fabric. So I go around once, just clipping in the main corners, and then I go around a second time, adding more clips and evening things out if there's too much material or it's stretched. I've created a second video called Sewing with Stretch Fabrics, which will give you some really good ideas if you have a particularly stretchy inside lining and you're sewing it to a non-stretchy outside fabric. I'll give you a link to this video at the end of this video and in the description below. Once you have the lining clipped all the way around the body piece, you're going to flip it over and work on the back side of the top outside layer of fabric. Now, if you've already watched the video that I did on adding piping to your coat, you'll remember that I suggested you work with a contrasting thread so that you can see it later. And the reason we used a contrasting thread is so that we can follow that sewing line when we're sewing the lining to the main body piece. So you're just going to follow that little line of the piping as closely as you can. Now when you get to the collar area here, you're actually sewing through several layers of material, so it's going to get a little bit harder. So when you're coming around the corners here, it's really important to make sure that both your top side but also your bottom side, that you're keeping them both as flat as possible. So when you come around, each time you kind of turn more of a corner, just keep flattening it out. So I'll just fast forward through here so you don't have to watch me sew the whole thing slowly. And we're going to come around this corner and then we're going to stop. This is the bottom end now that we're at. So we started here and we're probably going to end right about there. Because we are only using a 3/8" seam, we don't have to do any trimming of the seams, but what we do need to do is do some notches. So again, similar to how it is with the piping, when you're in tight corners, you want to clip little notches out of these corners. And you just want to make sure that you're not going past the stitch line there. So that's going to just allow that corner to open up. So on the inside corners, you're going to do notches. And you can add more than one notch. It doesn't have to be just one notch. You can do several. Just to add enough of these notches so that the fabric can stretch in those corners. So we'll do those. Now when we come to the outside corners, similarly to how we dealt with the piping, you're going to do little snips in here. So you're just going to snip, and again you want to make sure that you're not going past your stitch line. Now what we're going to do is we're going to turn the whole coat inside out. So you just stick your hand in, and that's why you want to have a good gap here so that you can put your hand in and then pull everything out. Now you see, because we trimmed those corners, that makes for a nice smooth edge here, and also because the way that we did our piping there, you don't even really see an edge or a fold here. And if you hadn't done that, you would get a really rumpled, kind of wrinkly edge there. So the last thing we need to do here is just clip this hole closed. So at this stage, you can either hand stitch this gap closed or top stitch around the entire outside of the garment. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my videos down below and turn on notifications so that you don't miss a video when it comes out. I'll be doing videos every week, so there'll be lots to learn on how to make functional dog wear for your dog.